Zombies are portrayed as weak, but they also can apparently break through a coffin and climb up through 6 feet of dirt. Hollywood puts gun to your back. I think you should keep your ideas to yourself. Thank God, I thought that was a body part on my backside. I've never had a problem with this particular aspect of zombies. I don't think they're weak. They're just slow and clumsy, but persistent. They will eventually break through a wooden door given enough time and left alone, so why is a coffin and dirt so far-fetched? I mean, 6 feet of dirt is a lot of dirt, especially if they have to get their whole body through. I was reading an AMA or whatever of a gravedigger here on Reddit, and he said graves took ages to dig with shovels and tools, never mind with your bare hands. Well, zombies happen a little, and people think it's their freedom as an American to make out with them, so they dig some up. Other religions perhaps want to see Grandpa alive again, and their leaders claim to be able to do just that, so they dig more up. In grief, more people are dug up by friends or lovers or family, hoping to see them one last time. It becomes a sort of suicide. Historians and archaeologists dig some up hoping to find out more about the past, and they do until the sacrifice becomes too great. They wash up on beaches, and over a long time those not in coffins find their way up. After it is made illegal, people still dig more up in secret for their own reasons. But the dead are gone and will never come back to those empty husks, but they keep making more. And assuming it's passed through liquid transfer like an STD, there will of course be anti-goggles and masked people, some of who try to fight to carrying degrees of success. Assuming this is some sort of magic where they have a beating heart and don't decay, normally you with your brain intact try to bite through demon or scratch through wood, the last of them would eventually come. But I think the living would be as much of an issue. Yes, and when you hit them with an axe, they spurt bright red blood despite having no blood pressure and no way to oxygenate the blood. They should just have stagnate brown sludge. And they keep eating even though they have no digestive process, so eventually their stomachs should just split from the pressure of undigested food. And muscles and ligaments would just decay to the point where the zombie could no longer ambulate and wouldn't be able to wander the woods looking for more food. Yes, I have thought a lot about this. Welcome to the rabbit hole. It comes down to what kind of zombie. The latest most common type of zombie is virus-induced undead. It offers a pseudo-scientific source while maintaining the mythical properties of being not dead, not alive. As undead, it's technically dead but animated, but the key point is that the humans have to die in the first place. Dying means no heartbeat and no breathing. This is the most logically troublesome zombie, since it tries to exist within our constraints of how we know life works, which is what led to the whole "can you move without blood breathing, how would muscles even work?" If you are saying the zombie has a heartbeat and breathes, then it's closer to a 28 days later zombie, which is more of a rabid living human, and eventually truly dies from starvation. Old school zombies were more magic curse, so you didn't really need to explain how they were able to move. As another person who has thought about this a lot, it absolutely depends on what type of zombies you have. Plague-rabid zombies work pretty much the way a lot of movie zombies do, because they're basically still alive, just severely brain damaged, though most of them would probably freeze to death before too long. Parasite fungal zombies would work pretty similar to the way you describe. Might last longer if the parasite feeds their muscles, but probably collapse into piles of spores before too long. Magic necromantic zombies these hot through a similar process, but no matter how decayed they get, they don't stop moving. Eventually you end up with a bunch of spooky scary skeletons chasing you around instead. 2012 called. They still want to know how a rotting corpse can rip open a human's rib cage, yet I as a normal grown adult struggle to open a bag of chips or cereal. When and where have zombies been portrayed as weak? They've always been portrayed as slow but unstoppable until the modern era of fast zombies came around. And even fast zombies are not exactly weak. If anything, it's never explained why they have such strength despite their rotting bodies. There are many types of zombies. Some are dumb and slow, some fast and stupid, some fast and smart, and some dumb and fast. Some have other traits that define them more than intelligence or speed, etc. Reddit zombies. They aren't weak. They are dumb and slow. I always wonder why the late-stage walkers in TWD are able to bite anything. You'd think their jaw would just break off when they tried to chomp. Flies would end any zombie apocalypse. They would consume the rotting flesh and lay maggots that would just eat them up. Other carrion bugs would help out too. Maybe the undead ritual brings back one's soul, not as a place of consciousness and being, but as a fuel source? It was Max Brooks who described his zombie in a similar way. Strength of the corpse stays the same for the most part, although it is clumsy. But what makes the zombie truly dangerous is its unlimited supply of stamina, and its blanket willingness to push itself far past the body's physical limits. More importantly, they're persistent. They don't stop coming. That was the whole horror of the original Night of the Living Dead. The overwhelming oppression and impending doom. It comes from eating brains. Brains have what zombies crave: electrolytes.